Hello everyone. We have come pretty far when it comes to the use of vintage lenses on my Fujifilm system. And recently we figured out that this Viltrox adapter is up for the task and providing a good result in use with vintage lenses. However, I still have some issues with it. And that issue comes down more towards the lenses I try to use on it rather than the adapter itself. Or maybe a combination of both. But the problem is that if I want to use a Pentax K mount lens on this adapter, which specifically have aperture automatic, which means an aperture that the camera are able to trigger by itself. It looks pretty simple because if you look on the lens itself, you see that there's this thing sticking up and there's a switch on it, which when you turn that switch, it opens the aperture. So when you're putting this on your camera house, it's going to click in and the aperture is going to be fully open, even if you are turning the aperture wheel, but the camera is still going to know which aperture you have, and when you take a picture it's going to just open down and then opens up again. This will help you to focus on seeing stuff in your viewfinder. However, I run into an issue when I try to add this one, the Pentax K, that have got an adapter ring on it. So the silver ring you see here is an adapter ring for EF mount. And that adapter looks like this. It's a simple ring that adapts Pentax K to an EF mount, which allows you to put your Pentax K mounts on an EF mount camera, or in this case an adapter. However, the issue I get with this adapter is that it's not deep enough. So if I would try to get this on, it's not going to get on there, and you see there's a big play on the adapter itself, so it doesn't really work. So that means I'm going to have to remove this part in order to use it on the adapter. So the thing you're going to see me do today is removing it. Let me just say that I'm very tempted to just bring out the angle grinder and remove it. But I'm going to try to be a little bit more sophisticated than that and try to do it the proper way, which means I'm going to bring out some tools and try to remove it. So either you're going to see me successfully remove this in this video, or you're going to see me successfully ruin a perfectly fine, well-working lens. And this is a super multi-coated Pentax M 1.7 50 millimeters. It's pretty thin. It's almost pancake territory. So let's see if I'm gonna ruin this lens or if I'm actually gonna manage to do it. So first of all, we are going to remove the adapter. So now when we have the adapter removed, we see there's 4 screws, and I suppose the way to go is to remove them. I'm gonna try to pry it up. Okay, so this is a good step, because what this means is that I'm going to be able to remove this edge sticking up here with the angle grinder or some tool. But this one is perhaps going to be trickier. In here, I see 2 screws that are quite well hidden. So it seems like the trick would be to just basically pull it out. the adapter is back on. Let's see if it fits on the Viltrox adapter. Yeah, it fits well, and it also works properly. So thankfully I didn't screw up my lens here. If it works, it works. So what do I want to show and tell with this video? That's a good question. Well, I suppose the lesson to be learned in this video is that maybe it's not that hard to actually modifying your equipment. It's not necessarily rocket science to go into your equipment and make it work. And especially if I wouldn't do this, these lenses would probably just be laying at home, not being used. Would I do this on a super expensive rare piece? Maybe. I mean, it still comes down to if I want to use it. And what good does a super expensive rare piece does just laying in a cabinet at home? Anyway, fun little video. Maybe to inspire, maybe to learn a little bit. I did this as well on another lens. This is Formula 5 MC. And I suppose this lens is probably, I have no idea if it's a cheap one or if it's an expensive one. But it was much easier to undo on this lens because there was basically 3 screws in the bottom that you just removed, and then you could unscrew everything without the use of violence. While, well, it was not really that hard when you figured it out on this one. It basically came down to, in the end, to just pull out this little piece because it's held down with just some tiny screws. So you should probably be able to take like a bigger plier there and just pull it out. Anyway, thanks for watching. There's going to be a playlist here with more camera related stuff, and click here to subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching, and I see you later.